All right, we're going to go through our surface area problems that we have here. Uh, it's really simple if you will just help organize your thoughts to write the base formula, plug in the different measurements that you have, and then plug it in your calculator. If you will do these three steps, you're going to do great on surface area. So notice here, for my base formula here, we have three rectangles, base times height, base times height, base times height, and then we have two triangles, 1/2 base times heights. Okay, you'll see there's our base formula here. Underneath here, all I've done is I've plugged in one thing at a time. So we have our first rectangle, which is this 12 by 15 in the back. You have this other rectangle here, a 16 by 15, which you get that from here. See, this 15 will be the same measurement here, which makes this bottom rectangle a 16 by 15. And then our last rectangle here is a 15 by 20. So that'll be the ramp part of this triangular prism. There's your 15 by 20. Okay. The last part of it is our two triangles, our 2 times 1/2 base times height, which is a 12 by 16. Plug all that in, you're going to get 748 feet squared. All right, let's move on to our next one here. We have a trapezoidal prism. Lots of parts to this, but not the hardest if you'll write it out. Again, I wrote out our base formula. I'm going to explain each part of that to you. What we have here, we have our first rectangle here, which is base times height. So that is going to be a 7 by 8. This 8 over here, you can translate it over to here. That makes this rectangle up here a 7 by 8 rectangle. Okay. The next one that we have here, I wrote in 2 base times height. There's going to be two rectangles here that will be identical. You're going to have two 8 by 10s. So this right here, the base is 10, the height is 8, just like it is here. These two are exactly the same. So you're going to have two 10 by 8s. The next, and last rectangle that you're going to have here, this one right here, it's going to be a 13 by 18. That's going to be your back rectangle right here. So that takes care of the four rectangles that make up the lateral sides of our trapezoidal prism. What you're left with after that is you're going to end up having two trapezoids. Area of a trapezoid is 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. So in plugging in our height, the height of the trapezoid is found here at 5, and our bases are going to be 13 and 7. This 7 will move up here, and that will make your base sub 2. Plug all that in, we'll get 420 inches squared. All right, let's check out our last two here. So we have right here, it says solve for the total surface area of the composite figure, including the base. And the base shape is a cube, so they let you know that. So that just tells us that this is 11, that's 11, this is 11. All the sides of this cube will be 11. So to figure out the surface area, we're going to start out, we're going to have every side of this cube except this top one. This top square does not exist anymore. Once we put this this square pyramid on top, the top square goes away. So we're just going to figure out the area of 5 of the squares. So 5 times s squared, and again, our side length is 11. We're going to add to that our triangles. We're going to have 4 identical triangles here. So 4 times 1/2 base times height. Base is 11, height is 14. So here's our base formula. We've plugged in our measurements. Plug that in the calculator, you get that answer right there. And our last one here. So our last one here, a little bit of a doozy. What you have here, to figure out the surface area of this. Pi r squared stands for this half circle here and this half circle here. Two half circles make a whole. So that'll take care of our sides that we have. The 1/2 2 pi r squared stands for the shell here. Remember, for a cylinder, the rectangular part of a cylinder is 2 pi r times the height, but we're only taking half of that because the other half of the cylinder, which I guess would be about like right there, doesn't exist. So we're only doing half of this rectangle. So this right here stands for half of the rectangle. And then here's the tricky part of this, okay? We're including the base of this cylinder we've cut in half. When you cut this solid in half, you're actually now adding a face that didn't exist before. We're adding this rectangle on the bottom. So underneath here is a new face that didn't exist until we cut this thing in half. So we have to add that rectangle, which is 20 by 26. Okay, so plug in all of your different measurements here. Be careful, they give you the diameter. You got to cut that in half to get your radius, which will be 10. Height here is 26. Plug all that in, round to the nearest tenth. You will get 17,170.4, about. And I wrote the about symbol here, or approximately that. Hope this helps. We'll see you guys next time.